watching SKST Radio.
Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with SKST Radio. Cami Grayson and the Dream Team, and I have a very special guest. As promised, I have the Mr. Donald G., attorney at law, right here with me. Hello, Mr. Donald. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. And then we have my co-host over there. We have Aisha from Dallas, Texas.
Hey.
So we're real excited. So this is the first time we've ever had an attorney on the show. And so as we were talking earlier, it was like, okay, what can you do with that question? So you're in the hot seat now, sir.
I'm fine. If you want to know what I am, I'm an open book, and I told her she should be able to ask me anything she wants, and I'd be more than happy to try to answer it for her.
Okay.
But I'm Donald G. I'm an attorney from Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
I came up on a little small farm. We pulled tobacco. We cropped hogs, and I decided to get the heck up out of there and go to law school.
Don't blame you. Okay, so basically, how long have you been in practice?
I've been practicing since October 9th, 1986, and I remember that date because I remember the day I was sworn in. My mama came to my swearing-in ceremony right there in Richmond, Virginia.
Wow. So why did you pick Richmond? Is that where you're from?
Oh, I'll give you a quick story, but it's a longer story than that. We grew up in a little town called Victoria, Virginia, and like I said, we grew up as tobacco farmers. But my mother had this great vision of her kids being educated. So she had a son who was obedient and decided that he was going to do like she said and go to dental school. So she had her dentist. And then she had another son who was obedient and decided that he was going to go to law school.
Okay.
And so my brother was one of the first blacks to come out of MCV medical school. And my partner, law partner now, went to Howard University. And I was supposed to be the obedient son and go to medical school. And I majored in biology for 2 years and said, that's not happening.
Okay.
So I decided to go to law school.
Go to law school. Great.
And that's what made me do that. And it's given me 35 years of practicing law with my brother. So it's been a pleasure.
Nice. Well, I know you're popular here in the Hampton Roads. Of course, me being from Dallas, Texas, to hear you and to meet you, I think I first met you through Angie, and it was with the Ricky Johnson Foundation.
Yes.
And so what did you guys do to help that company, that organization?
Well, we became one of their contributors and sponsors for a lot of the activities that they did in the community. When we started practicing law, there were three of us, my brother Earl and now Congressman McKeechin. We all started together in 1990. And one of the things that we truly wanted to do because of our upbringing is to make sure that we stayed in a community. And so we've always tried to help individuals and families from any community, especially those that we are working in, or individuals will call us and there's a need and we can help. So we grew to the point at one point we had offices in Emporia, South Hill, Petersburg, Hopewell, Richmond, and Henrico counties. Okay. And we tried to work through all of those communities. And then at some point, my marketing director, Angela Knight, introduced me to Ricky Johnson and Friends, that foundation. And he was one that was aggressive about being helpful in various communities. So we wanted to join up, partner up, so that we could be out there and be of service to individuals in the community, especially those that we serve.
Right. Well, I know it's a great initiative. I know you guys did a good little run. And
Yes.
It helped the community. I mean, by me being where I actually work, you guys contribute and you did all kinds of things for that community. So we appreciate all the hard work that you do in the community because it's just fabulous. I mean, we need more people like you, Donald G.
Well, I am certainly excited about every time we can go into a community and every time we can help individuals out of a community. One of the things that we found that's been really, really gratifying through the years is that we've given scholarships to graduating high school seniors since 1992. And some of the scholarships that we've given, we've gotten the stories back to where I graduated from college, and I'm the first one in my family to do that. If I've gone on to film school, I've gone on to medical school, that kind of thing. It is truly a fulfilling feeling that you will have when young people come back and say, you helped me on my journey.
Right.
So that's why we intend to stay in the community.
Setting milestones. That's awesome. So at the end of the day, what are you hoping to accomplish in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, that's interesting. I'll start off about where I am now.
Okay.
I am. I've been practicing law 35 years from this October, and we do primarily personal injury. My brother still believes in some of his upbringing from working at legal aid and things of that nature, so he wants to always help out by providing powers of attorneys and wills to individuals who need those things. But my goals are to hopefully set a threshold for practicing law in the areas that we practice. We were the first Black law firm in the city of Richmond to advertise.
Wow.
And I just remember when we started doing that, a lot of individuals said they're not going to last. But I was with two other partners who said if we don't eat, we're still going to market our firm. And I want a lot of upcoming minority firms to know that you can do this. You can compete with the big boys and hang in there and make a living and have a good career. So starting right now, I want individuals to see this is what they need to do to truly compete. Word of mouth is great. That internet is even better.
Right. Absolutely.
And we did it on TV, radio, internet, billboards, you name it. But you have to set those goals. And I'd love to see more young Black lawyers. I'd love to see more young Black professionals take on and do some of the things that we've done over the last 30 years.
Right. So do you guys actually do pro bono type work or anything like that for the community?
There are a couple of foundations. There are a few foundations and some churches that will call us up, especially some of the smaller ones. They can't afford to do certain things, so we'll take on their calling and try to help them through some of the legal needs that they may have. But yes, we do that. I would say every year, but all the time.
Okay.
And that's been happening since we got started. And when I say that we grew up in a small town, the reason why we have some of the work ethic that we have and some of the caring that we have is because God blessed me to be in a very poor family. I mean, we grew up, we were dirt poor. And we were fortunate that we could live off the land and do certain things. But to get to the next level and the next level and the next level, I'm not talking about being a lawyer. I'm talking about just living from day to day to day.
Yeah.
Yes. Our mom, she worked 3 jobs. Levi Strauss sewing blue jeans, cooking at a hickory house and cleaning houses so we could do the things that we did. But it was not just her to help us get through those things. There were people in the community who would come up and say, I hear that you all are getting ready to do this or you're trying to do that. And, for me, back in the 70s, if somebody gave you 5 unsolicited dollars, that went a long way.
Yeah.
Gas was 40 cents a
gallon.
gallon.
I was going to say,
so,
bread was 5 cents,
Exactly. So I could ride all the way to school in Richmond from Victoria and come back home and do all those type of things. So it was a community effort at times. When I say that, community, yes, people outside of our families, but we have a large family. My mom was from a family of 13 siblings. My dad was 14 siblings. And those people, those family members, they contributed also in any way that they could.
Good.
So I just feel like this is what we are supposed to do. We're supposed to help the communities out. We're supposed to help those individuals who are trying to make something of themselves. So that's why we won't ever turn a blind eye if we can help out.
That's awesome. So now that you are established, you're pulling other people up, you're helping other businesses. Now, do you have a success story from any of the businesses that you've actually helped and pulled up?
Well, I don't know if certain people want me to use their names, but there are lawyers who are out there that they come to us and say, when you showed me how to do research down at the clerk's office, I wanted to become a real estate attorney, and showed me how to do that type thing. Or you showed me your business plan as to how to be a personal injury lawyer, and we were never. I don't want to show you this because you could take clients away from me.
People are like that,
We're not that way. If we have a motion that we've already drafted, or we have complaint that we've already filed with the clerk's office, or we have arguments about, what the law says or these facts represent, we share them, or we share them with anybody who asks us. And we're not the only lawyers out there that will do that, but
Right.
a lot of people will call us up for assistance on matters, not because they want to hire us to work with them. It's because they want to know where to go. And there are plenty of individuals that we've helped out just that way.
Now, your clientele, are they very diverse?
The direct answer is no. That's probably been the one disappointing thing, because we grew up and we're always were colorblind.
Right.
But people are people, and they do what they do because they're comfortable. So 99% of our clientele is African American.
Okay.
And we're in a lot of the African American communities because
They migrate, yes.
Exactly. But every now and again we'll get someone who's not African American come use our services, and but we cater to any and everybody that will be there. We love doing personal injury. It's one of those firms where I always tell people that when you hear our commercials that say, "We know what you've gone through," it's not because we've tried these many cases,
right,
or we've had these many clients. It's because we hire lawyers who've had automobile accidents. I had my own automobile accident. I still think about it now. August 10th, 1985. A young boy coming out of law school had a head-on collision that put me in the hospital, put me in bed for a while. So, no, I didn't go to law school to become a personal injury lawyer. I went to law school to be a criminal lawyer. But then when the insurance industry decided they wanted to try to take advantage of me, it made me angry. Yeah. And I said, something, you just found another enemy, and that's going to be me. And I'm going to do everything I can to represent clients who come to me, because I do know what they've been through. I know what it was like to come out, have an accident, start your career a little bit later, have school loans coming at you, and you can't make a living because you're on, Tylenol, codeine.
Right.
You're going to physical therapy, and you're getting cortisone shots. I know what it's like to have those things come at me. And so when clients walk into our office, we know what they've been through. And so that's why we do. And when I interview, the first question I typically will ask a lawyer who's coming to our firm, have you ever been in an automobile accident? I don't care if it's large or small.
Right.
You will know the apprehension that a person will have in coming to you because they're afraid that you don't understand them. So you'll see that, diminish to some degree. And also when clients say, well, I don't know how I'm going to keep my lights on this month.
Right.
You understand that because you've been through that. I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't have health insurance. I didn't have health insurance either when I had my accident.
Right.
So
right.
You get a feel for all of those things.
Yeah. Kind of walking the mile.
Yeah.
Actually
been
being
there,
in those shoes.
Done
exactly.
That. So we try to put that across to all of our clients. And even with our staffing, we've got a number of staff persons in there who've been in accidents. My office manager, she's been in a flipped car a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
And no fault of her own, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And with that, she helps keep our legal assistants and paralegals within the mindset that these individuals are coming to us because they need us and they trust us. So they're just not individuals who come in to try to make a dollar or try to get through a process. They're individuals who really deserve what we're going to get for them, and hopefully we can do better than what their expectations are.
Right. They do have, attorneys do have that reputation of, being sharks and, not so honest and things like that. How do you differ from that stereotype?
Well, again, understanding what it's like to go through the process. But the other part of it is you can't satisfy every client. And oftentimes when attorneys get the reputation as a shark or whatever, it's usually from a disgruntled client. And it's not necessarily from an attorney who was not successful based on the facts and the law that they were given. Because every client that comes to your office is not going to be a multi-million-dollar case.
Right.
But we're one of those attorneys that truly believe, one, that every case has merit. So I can't find myself turning down a $2,000 case or a $5,000 case when I'm only going to make a third of that, and I may work 6 months to pick up $1,000.
Right.
I don't care because that client needs to be serviced. And yes, I will take every $1 million case that anybody wishes to bring to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anybody who wishes to bring me $1 million case, tell them to come. I'm here.
Get to them, guys. Get to them.
Yes. But one of the things that I can pride myself on and our law firm's theme is this. Any cooperating client that we have with us, they will not walk out the door with less money than we receive. Our fee is not that important to us where we're going to get our fee, we're going to pay your bills off, and you walk away with nothing in your pocket.
Right.
We've had that, and we've done that for 35 years to make sure that doesn't happen. And the other part to it is when we get your money, we're just not saying, here's your money, have a happy life, take you out of the door. And, without giving names, Lord of mercy, it makes me cry at times the number of success stories we've had in educating people as to what to do with their money and how to handle their money and how to make it last them a lifetime versus just getting it going, what am I going to do, and leave it to the vices of other people to take advantage of them or not. We educate our folks. We set them up. There are clients that I've had 15, 20 years ago. They're still calling me, and they're still asking us for advice on what should we do now. And, sometimes you want to say, well, just Google. You can find this type of advice.
Right.
But we still try to find the right person to pinpoint them with in doing so. And, some clients, they'll call us, I have this amount of money coming in from a structured settlement, or I've had this much come in from an annuity that was set up, or I've had this much from my savings. What should I do now? I want to do A, B, and C. And we take the time and we research the projects that they're trying to do. And we try to advise them on that. And that's been probably one of our strengths, where individuals still are referring. They may have been clients 20 years ago, 15 years ago, but they say that we are truly their lawyers for life.
Okay. Yeah, that's, again, you have that reputation. So, I mean, I really, really hope that the people who have not used your services take the time to look you up to use your services. You can reach Mr. G. His information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. There's any other way people can get in contact with you?
Yeah, we have a web page, which I see that's scrolling across the screen. You see the numbers scrolling across the screen. You can Google me.
It's Googleable.
Yeah, we're all those things. I mean, you can look up attorney at law. You will find us. But one of the things that I'd like to tell folks is, our story is not just a story of lawyers who can do certain things for you. We try to instill what we do in our practice in all walks of life, and try to get individuals to, one, try to get educated,
Right.
two, respect the systems that are out there, three, understand where they want to be when they are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and try to meet those goals. So if you come to our office, I can tell you now, it's not just going to be about personal injury.
Right.
It's going to be about who you are, what you are, and the things that you need to do. And oftentimes, those things sort of go hand in hand with a personal injury anyway, because when you have to try the case, the jury wants to know who you are.
Right.
They want to know what you're about. And most of the time, you just get to put what their backgrounds are, what they've been through. And some of the backgrounds are not stellar backgrounds. Some of the backgrounds are criminal backgrounds. But we hope that once we get you out of our offices, you understand either some of the great things that you've been doing and you can build off those, or some of the bad things that you've done in life and change those things and get past that. And that's important to us to make sure that our clients are successful with their personal injury, but hopefully they can go through and be successful in life. I remember having a client about 15 years ago, and she and her husband, they were in an automobile accident. And most people don't understand insurances. Now, you ask most people, how much insurance do you have? And they would go, oh, I know I'm driving legal. Well, in Virginia, currently, legal is $25,000. And so the big question is this: what if you're hit by some drunk driver who either doesn't have insurance, or that driver only has an SR22, which gives them $25,000 worth of insurance, and you have a broken leg and a broken arm?
You're screwed.
And you're what?
You're screwed.
Yes. You are screwed. But for those of you who are listening to me now, hear my voice. Go out and reevaluate your insurance policies, because that's what happens oftentimes. Folks will come in. My mama got killed because of my daddy got killed because of a drunk driver, and all that drunk driver has is 25. Well, you can help out and do something better yourself, and that is learn what you can do from your policies. And you can go out and get more insurance yourself, because Virginia, like most states, has something that's called uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured motorist coverage, meaning if that person has only 25 but you have a $100,000 policy, you can get that. Because a lot of folks will walk in, you mean to tell me that I got 2 broken arms and all I can get is $25,000? Well, you mean to tell me you didn't have enough foresight to see that accidents happen out here, and you only had the minimum. And I've been out of work, and I've got these medical bills. Well, let's look at the next step. Let's do an asset check. Let's do a background check on the person that hit you. Oh, by the way, he's living out his car. He's not Tyler Perry about to start up.
Right,
okay?
right.
So you can't get anything from him but the insurances. And that's why I try to educate people every time I have a conversation about this as to what they need to do to get better insurances. If your insurance agent is not talking to you about how they can get you higher limits at not so much higher costs, then call my office. I'll get you to an agent that will talk to you about what you need to. And I'm serious about that. I've got a couple of brothers out there who run insurance companies, and they've taken on a lot that I've sent them through the community to say, wait a minute, you're paying these high premiums for hardly anything. Let's see if we can find a better fit with you that's not going to cost you but so much. Because that goes a long, long way. And then the flip side of that is, if an individual has only 25 and you go out one day and think you're hitting the brake and you're hitting the accelerator and you run into someone, now you're talking about someone suing you. And if you break both their arms, you only have 25. And yes, if you have that wonderful house with equity in it, and you've got that wonderful job with great salary, we're going to garnish you. We're going to come try to take your house.
Exactly.
So protect your investment, protect yourself. And I do that with my clients. And the Lord blessed me with 2 great kids and now a grandchild.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
And one on the way. I have a 2-year-old grandson that my daughter and her husband gave to us. And they have another boy on the way in September.
Nice.
But I talk to them, and I tell them these are the things that you need to do, because life is supposed to be enjoyed, but life is a business also. And that business, you're the president and CEO of yourself. And if you don't protect yourself, no one else will.
That's true.
And I guess since I mentioned my daughter, I better mention my son too, because he might be watching. But I have a wonderful son who, if anybody loves music, he's one of the best musicians I've ever seen. And he writes extremely well, writes music very well. So if you know anybody who's in productions, who's in film, he will do that for you too.
And funny, because we've been interviewing a lot of film stars now. So that's really crazy.
I got the right person for you. His name is dgee.
Okay, we'll get dgee on the show.
He's an extremely talented individual.
Sure.
Yes, I would love for you to do that. But I tell them, you have to protect yourself the same way. Look for these insurances. Look for the future to do certain things.
Right. Well, we would love to have you, from time to time, whenever you're free, to be on the show, give some advice, just like what you did today. I mean, this is great. People need to know that. I mean, just think about all the people who are with legal aid, what I mean? And they don't have those answers. They might not, maybe just a tip of the day, a legal tip of the day would be great.
I wouldn't mind doing that at all. I would appreciate that opportunity to do it. I'd be honored to have that
We would
opportunity
love that.
because educating individuals to not fall in a deeper hole, especially after an automobile accident,
Yeah.
it'd be really, really my pleasure. And I say that, and also I'd say to a lot of us out here who don't have things such as wills.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, what happens is that there be wealth in our community, and mom and daddy die, and they don't have a will, and the family split. Next thing you know, all the assets are gone, or they're sold off,
Yeah,
or
I've seen that.
the lowest
Yeah.
bidder oftentimes. So yes, I'd be more than happy to come back and do those something.
Great. Miss Aisha, do you have a question for Mr. Donald G?
One of the questions he already answered. I was going to ask, what areas of law do you practice? So I see you practice personal injury. Do you practice any other area of law?
No, 99.9% of what I do is personal injury. And personal injury, it is a large group. It's not just automobile accidents. Individuals who are hurt on their jobs, and it may be a piece of machinery that could have been better designed. We go after those machine companies. And personal injury goes to not just the auto, but also if somebody has a step at their house or at their business that breaks through and it wasn't set up through the appropriate codes and things of that nature, we will go after those individuals. So if you've been injured, is what we would say. If you've been injured and it's been no fault of your own, call us, and that's that number that you probably want to use.
Okay.
And it doesn't cost anybody anything to call us. We will give free advice as to what they need to do. And my position is this, especially ever since I had my automobile accident, my mission is to maximize every case, whether it's mine or you go to some other lawyer. If I can educate you to get you to the right person for what you need, I don't have a problem referring you to that right injury attorney to be able to help you.
That's nice.
I just want to maximize what your return can be so that that big, bad insurance company doesn't get to keep all of its profits the way that they're doing.
That was my next question for you. Are you licensed in other states? And say, someone's listening right now, like out of Dallas, and they're like, okay, well, I want to use him, but, I'm here in Texas, and, are you licensed in other states, or would you refer a client out if they called you and you can't help them?
The answer to your question is I'm not licensed in any other state but Virginia. But the cool part about it is I know attorneys in every state, including Hawaii. And if someone were to call Okay, we froze up for a second.
It
Did you
froze
hear
up
him?
for a second.
Okay.
Could you hear me?
So it left off at attorneys in other states, in every state,
Yeah.
including Hawaii.
There you go. That's my favorite state. We won't talk about that state today because that's another conversation in itself. But yes, I know attorneys in every state. So if someone were to call me and have me to work their case and we had to litigate it, then we would reach out to our friends in other states to get us into the particular courts that we need to get into to try the matter.
Okay.
So yes, I'll take on cases from any state.
That's good.
That's good. That's awesome.
Including Hawaii.
Including Hawaii. I just want to be in the suitcase. just give me Hawaii.
Yeah.
Under the sun,
Yes. But and lots of states, the laws are different. They're not the same as if they are in Virginia. And that's why sometimes when we get clients who may be calling us or coming down from New York, they go, well, we can't do this in New York. And I know you can't do that in New York, especially if someone gets injured in accidents here. They go, wow, this could never happen in New York.
Right.
Or if someone who's from New York calls us and we'll tell them in Virginia we could do these type things, but this is the lay of the land in New York. And especially individuals who have just moved to New York from the South. Some of the laws will change. And same way in California and a few other states that we've had cases in.
That's interesting, isn't it? So I guess at this point we're gonna say thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any nuggets that you would like to leave with the audience before you go?
Well, the main one I always leave, if you're injured to no fault of your own, you can call us. But if you don't call us, call some lawyer to get the advice that you need to be able to resolve your case in a manner that's most effective for you. A lot of people think that they can deal with insurance companies, but those insurance companies, they are trained, they're skilled. State Farm, Allstate, Geico, Progressive, you name it. They send those claims examiners, they send them to school.
Wow.
They get them educated. If you think that you're street savvy, can deal with what they deal with, no. Call some lawyer, even if you don't call me.
Oh, wow. Now that's good advice. So you guys, his number's on the screen. You'll be able to go back and look at this on YouTube and on Facebook. And please give us a call if you have any questions. But we have Mr. Donald G., the attorney, here in the flesh, and he's also agreed, and we got that on recording, y'all. He agreed to come back and give us some more tips. So
I'll be back.
We're excited to have you. Thank you so much for
Thank
being on
you.
the show, and we will see you next time.
Yes, you will.
And audience, we'll see you guys next time on skstradio.com. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're out. Bye, guys.
Yeah.